Would and could are two examples of modals in English. Today, we will learn 8 modals. They are may, might, must, can, will, should, would, could. Let's start learning. First, let's talk about how to use a modal in a sentence. The sentence will look like this: subject plus the modal plus a verb. For example, I can run. It doesn't matter who you're talking about or what the verb is, the modal and the verb never change. For example, he can runs is not correct. You can say he can run. The same is true for all the modals and verbs that we'll be learning today. Don't change the modal and don't change the verb. Let's get started with our first modal. May is used to convey possibility or to ask for permission. For example, I may call you later. It's possible that I'll call you later. In a question, when we're asking permission, you can say, may I call you later? We use might when there is a possibility, but it's less likely to happen. I might learn Spanish next year. I probably won't learn Spanish. There is a small possibility. That's when you can decide to use might. In American English, we don't use this in a question. So, what's the difference between may and might? May is used for a possibility that is more likely to happen in the future, whereas might is used for a possibility that is less likely to happen. For example, I may call him later. This means there is a high chance that I will call him later. If I say I might call him later, I probably won't call him. We use must when something is necessary, something we have to do. For example, I must pay my rent today. We use can when we talk about possibility or ability, as well as asking for permission. For example, I can swim. This means it is possible for me to swim. If you want to ask permission in a less formal way, you can say, can I borrow your pen? We use will when we're talking about future plans, promises, or offers to help. For example, I will visit her next week. This means I have already decided and this will happen. Or if you want to offer your help to someone, you can say, I will help you, or more casually, I'll help you. We use should when we give advice or an expectation. For example, you should drink more water. It's good for you. You should do it. Or I should call my mother. I would like you to practice in the comments. Finish the sentence. I should blank this weekend. For example, I should wash my car this weekend. Can you try? We use would with conditionals. Also, it can be used for possibilities and offers. In the conditional, you can say, I would go if I had time. To request something, say you're at a restaurant, you can say, I would like a coffee, please. And to offer someone, you can say, would you like some tea? Could is the past ability of can. For example, I could play the guitar when I was a child. I could in the past, I cannot right now. It can also be used for a possibility or a suggestion. For example, we could eat out later. So what's the difference between could and would? Could is used for an action or an event that is possible, but would is used similarly for a possible action, but it is less likely to happen. I could go dancing later. This is a possibility that is likely to happen. When we use would, we talk about imagined situations that can happen if certain conditions are met. For example, I would travel the world if I had more money, or I would go to bed early if I didn't have to do my English homework. There you have it. There are your 8 modals in English. If you liked what you've learned, please hit subscribe and like this video. I'll see you next week. Bye.